This is Charlie Kao with Travel Mall Media in London at the World Travel Market with Adrian Champana, who is the regional manager for Europe for Turismo Chile. Adrian, as I was saying, I've traveled the world, most regions around the world, and I'm currently focusing on South America. In Chile, other than the Patagonia region, which I've ran across many tour operators, lodges, hotels, you of course watch it on TV about the disappearing glaciers and such. The rest of Chile, and you pulled out this map. I mean, look at the length of this map. I mean, my goodness. All I know a little bit about, heard about, is down here.
Yeah, all the Patagonia down here.
So maybe, you can help me and the audience understand a little bit more what visitors can do or do.
Of course. First, hello.
Yeah.
Thanks for the invitation. So yeah, you were speaking about Patagonia. This is should be the more famous region for Chile, the main highlights of Chile. But Chile has many more to offer also. Let's focus on the map if you want.
Yeah.
So here you have Santiago, our capital.
Yeah.
It's, I would say, the only really international airport that you have. So all the travelers arriving by air, they will land into Santiago. Okay. So the main highlights in Chile are, you say, Patagonia, fly over here. So this is South Patagonia with the famous Torres del Paine National Park that is just over there. So how to get there? You were speaking of, you want to go there. So you fly into Punta Arenas. So it's not easy, into Punta Arenas. It's a 3.5 hours flight. And then drive 2.5 hours to get to Puerto Natales, and then another hour and a half to get into the Torres del Paine National Park. But let's say that from Puerto Natales you are already really in Patagonia, with the mountains, the fjords and everything. But there is a good news for all the travelers. LATAM Airlines, so our national airlines,
Yes.
will be flying into Puerto Natales directly. So this will cut your travel time of nearly 3 hours, because the flight will be a little bit shorter because you fly into Puerto Natales and then you don't have to drive between Punta Arenas and Puerto Natales. So you will fly directly
Instead
here.
of flying here, you're flying directly here, which is closer to the main attractions of Patagonia.
Torres del Paine National Park.
In the national park, during the summer, what would one do versus the winter?
I mean, you can visit this part of Patagonia all year round, but of course it's more famous during our summer. So this is the winter, European winter or North American winter. But you can also visit all year round. Summer is the most famous, the peak season as well. So it's adventure travel. It's trekking, horseback riding, kayaking in the fjords. You have sailing as well. To get closer to the glaciers. Bird watching. Puma spotting. The cougars, as we say in the same families than the cougars in North America.
Is that where the big lake is, and you go on a boat?
On a boat, exactly. And maybe it's not. Maybe the videos or the images you've seen. It's not a lake; it's a fjords. But sometimes these fjords. It's more this kind of maybe the landscape you will find in Norway. So yeah, it's all big lake of fjords when you sail into these fjords and you get closer to the glaciers. And you can also walk. Climb the glaciers that are really unique experiences. Back to the map, so we can back to Santiago. The other main highlights of Chile will be the Atacama Desert, the driest desert in the world, with a famous place that is San Pedro de Atacama. How to get there? You fly from Santiago into Calama. It's a 1 hour and 40 minutes flight. And then an hour and 20 minutes to get to the village of San Pedro de Atacama. San Pedro de Atacama, it's a small village, but it's a perfect base camp, to visit all the surrounding areas, because you have geysers, a lagoon, the altiplano, the high plateaus of of the Andes, of the mountains. You have Salt Lake, so lots and lots of things to see, things to do, based in San Pedro de...
Why wouldn't you drive from Santiago up there?
Because it will be 20 or more, 24 hours, I would say.
Okay.
By bus, it's a 24 hours. You have to think that from north to south, it's 4,300 kilometers long. Actually, it's the longest, one of the longest countries in the world. So most of your travel, when you travel into Chile, you have to take domestic flights, okay? Except if you have 2 or 3 months, to visit the whole country by road. But otherwise, you have to fly, between one destination and the other one.
It just caught my eyes, Easter Island.
Easter Island, that's why I wanted to go after, I will say the third main highlights of Chile is Easter Island. Easter Island, of course, is not so close to the mainland, to the continent.
It's another flight.
Yeah, it's a 5 hours flight. So
whoa.
I always say, it's a travel within the travel, because it's a big job. You need more time. It's also because it's a long flight, it's a 5 hours flight, it's 3,600 kilometers from Santiago. So it's quite a long flight, so it's also can be a little bit more expensive as well, but it's perfect. Easter Islands with the famous Moai, the status on all this mystic and legendary history around the islands, around the people, the Rapa Nui, the local people. So yeah, it's another high.
Typically, how long would people visit?
I would say at least
Easter
4
Island?
nights, 3 or 4 nights would be the minimum, yeah, because you have lots of things lots of place to go, lots of place to see different things. There's a night beach as well, Anaquena. So yeah, most of we were speaking about the Puerto Natales, Torres del Paine areas, about the Atacama Desert areas, and Easter Islands. It's always in each of these places. You can normally stay between 3 to 5 nights. I mean, it's never enough, but it's still enough to see the main attraction of each places.
Some good news for people in the UK.
Of course. Wonderful news. Started January the 3rd, British Airways. They will launch a new flight, direct flight from London Heathrow to Santiago. It will be 4 flights a week. So it will be perfect, a new options for UK travelers to get to Chile and without any connection. That for us is a great news. New possibilities, and that will definitely attract more tourists to Chile. But I wanted to back to the map. So because we're just speaking about the highlights, but Chile has many more places, many more things to offer. Valparaiso, UNESCO World Heritage.
Okay, I've heard of that.
Exactly. So here we have Santiago, Valparaiso. So
you can drive that one.
You can drive that one. Yeah, it's just an hour and a half. Yeah, an hour and 15 minutes from Santiago. It's an harbor. It's a city. It was famous before the opening of the Panama Canal, because all during the gold rush, all the boats coming from Europe or from the east coast of the US, they had to cross through the Cape Horn, through the Magallanes Straits, that is here.
Magellan Straits.
The first stop after all this, really rough seas and hard weathers, was the first stop was Valparaiso. So it was very famous among the sailors. It was one of the good stops. And so between a good stop, a really nice stop, and routes between Santiago and Valparaiso was the Casablanca Valle, which is famous because it's famous for the white wine, and people say that's one of the best place for the white wine, Here is all the wine region. I will say that 2 hours around Santiago, you will find most of the main wine valleys, So here you have Casablanca, here you have all the Colchagua, Maipo Valle, here you have Aconcagua, and also you have lots of Chile's famous wine, I
would like that.
Definitely. I don't know, if you are going to Chile during our winter, so your summer, you can go skiing also, just an hour and a half from Santiago. You can go skiing in the Andes, so just here. Santiago, it's the only capital city in the world, and you can ski in the morning and surf in the afternoon. You know?
And what's the altitude of
It's quite high if you compare with the other ski resorts in the world. The lowest one, so Farellones, it's 2,700 meters above the sea level. So it's
That's the lowest.
Yeah, so it's quite high. This is around Santiago, because further south you can ski in volcanoes. You have other places famous for skiing as well. Because it's a little bit it's further south, you don't need to be so high to get good snow. So
ski, wine, ocean,
surf, cultures. We can speak a lot more. Here you have what we call all the lake region over there. We call it lake and volcanoes. Why? Because there are lots of lake, volcanoes, rivers. It's where you will find all this part, Araucania region, where you will find one of the main ethnic groups, original people from Chile.
Indigenous
the Mapuche,
people,
exactly, from the Mapuche. We're still living here.
That's enough for me in our audience to chew on. I mean, that's a 3-4 week trip already.
Yeah, no, it's still young, and you can spend a month and you will see a lot of things.
Adrian with Turismo Chile, thank you so much.
You're welcome. Thanks to you.